Hello, hello, everyone. Hope you're all amazing. Let's see if this is actually working. We had a bit, when I say bit, I mean big drama this morning with our live streams not working, but look, I think it is. So welcome to the Coffee Run. Good morning, Jess. Hope you're all doing fabulous and doing fabulously, doing well, having all of the fun and things like that. What I wanted to talk with you about today, Facebook's having dramas all around, but I can see you now. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's a bit of a strange one. So I guess, oh my God, hang on. You can probably see me now. That was a bit weird. I've just been out for coffee with my husband. He's been in town today and just got back. So I'm running a bit late, but here we are here right now. So I thought that the first thing that really came up for me today was around how I think the importance of having more than one way of being able to do your stuff. You know, there are things will go wrong with technology all the time. Things will go wrong with many things, you know, at different times. And I think it's really important to make sure that you've got ways of being able to mitigate those circumstances. So this morning we had our 6 o'clock call with my 30-day challenges, which was really awesome. But we've tried to go live on Facebook like 3 times and it just kept going, no, and then no, and then no. It's like, shit, okay, let's jump over to Zoom and we'll go do it over there. And it was just like, oh, this is really strange, right? It wasn't like a major catastrophe. It was just, we just take it all in our stride and let's just go and hang out over here instead. But what it got me thinking about was about how it's really easy to get kind of caught up in our reliance on one platform or on one way of delivering and one way of doing something. Good morning, Jeanette. And I guess the thing that I wanted to chat with you about today was around the way that we, how can we create some different safeguards, I guess, for ourselves in the event of a, Facebook-ageddon or Facebook gate, or any social media gate actually for that matter, where you might lose your ability to talk to different people and to connect with your audience. Not necessarily about the delivering necessarily of your programs if you're using different online facilities for that, but certainly around the way that we market. So I'm a huge advocate and always have been for making sure that you've got some safety nets in place. So couple of things that we need to be aware of. Facebook could shut down your business page like right now if they so chose to. And a lot of people will go and spend a lot of money on building up their audience and trying to grow that and just focus on doing that. It's a little bit of a false economy. And the way that I kind of think about it, it's like building a house of cards on a cloud, right? And that cloud could like dissipate really quickly and then you're left with nothing. And that would be really, really terrible. And then your whole empire would kind of like crumble and crash to the ground. And what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to talk to people? How are you going to communicate? Most importantly, how are you going to sell your stuff if you just all of a sudden overnight lost your audience? Incidentally, the same thing can happen with Facebook groups. So Facebook groups, as we all know, can be a really amazing way of building community, connecting with people, providing a space for people to engage and kind of get a little bit more personal with you and whatever else. And that's really amazing. And I think it's actually, I've been resistant to the group strategy for a number of years. And I'm kind of just thinking, oh, maybe I might like to have a bit of a play. I've had, secret private Facebook groups for years in terms of delivery of programs. But from a free group perspective, I haven't done that yet. So I might do something about that because I think it's cool to be able to create a space. One thing in here, I mean, it's great to be able to connect with you guys in here. It's a little bit different if we can use it a little bit more of like a forum, I suppose, where you can jump in and support each other and ask questions and kind of hang out with a bit more of the behind the scenes type stuff. So that's great. But the group, I guess that the point more is that the group can be pulled out from underneath you at the whim of the Facebook gods, right? All it takes is someone being an asshole and reporting you for something, and they're just like, whoop, sayonara, sister. And then, there goes your group. And I think the thing here is that no matter what it is that you're looking at doing, if you want to build something that's really sustainable, is that we've got to be able to make sure that we can actually communicate with people outside of just here. So we saw this happen when Instagram went down a little while ago, went down recently. Facebook has been having issues today. So we want to create a bit of an insurance policy. So I wanted to talk with you about how to do that. And it's not foolproof. It's not, it's not the silver bullet for when things go wrong, but it does provide you with a bit of a safety net and a little bit of an insurance policy. So the thing that I would really strongly encourage you guys to do is focus on adding value to community and things like that. Obviously, the way that we always do. You get up, you deliver your message, you help people, you connect with them, you solve problems, you give them some motivation and inspiration, hints, tips, whatever it is in terms of helping them achieve their goals, dreams, and desires, their secret or not so secret ones, whatever that is for them. But it is so super important that we also have a way of being able to get your audience into or collect some of their information outside of social media. So one of the ways that you can do that is by offering things for free, right? So PDF downloads, audio series, webinars, things like that, where you get them to opt in. So they give you their name, email address, and phone number, perhaps their phone number, maybe just their name and email address. And they're like, yep, I would really love that free thing. And it's like, okay, cool. It's a bit like if you guys sent me a text, if you guys sent me a text with your phone number, and then I've got another way of being able to communicate with you. If we think about it a little bit like dating, if you're going to go to a bar and you're chatting to someone and you really hit it off and you're like, oh, you're going to be here tomorrow night, and they say, yeah. And then you roll up tomorrow night and they're not there, which that would be tonight. You roll up the next day and they're not there. You are completely at the mercy of that person showing up. If you haven't asked for their phone number, if you haven't asked how you can get in contact with them, you're completely at their mercy. Or they are completely at your whim of showing up at that same place, right? So the way that we could ensure or ask a question would be to gather some of their contact information. So, we've really hit it off. I really like you. I'd love to see you again. Are you, would you like to come again? Would you like to come here again tomorrow night? Yeah, okay, great. What's your number? Or however it is that I don't know how you would do that these days. I assume that's how you do it. Hashtag I don't want to be in the dating game, just FYI. So you get the contact information like, oh, yeah, I'm on my way, or, yep, I'll see you there, and you get to confirm, and you've got another way of being able to contact them without having to go to that same bar, that same restaurant, that same location, coffee shop or whatever, in order to be able to meet them. Think of social media in the same way. It's like social media at the moment is like the coolest coffee shop in your town. It's awesome. It's decked out and all the fantastic things and whatever. But if your person doesn't show up to that coffee shop, they have no way of being able to hear from you. So we want to get their contact information so that we can keep building that relationship. And the way that looks these days, the way that we do that is by providing value to our audiences. So I put out my free content map, for example, and the video training that goes along with that to make sure that you've got your content, or to help you create a content plan so that you've got an idea about what it is that you're going to talk about that week, that month, that quarter, that half, that year, right? So you're always on message, you're always on track. I'm putting together the 30-day journal prompt. So that's on its way in. It's in production at the moment. We've got 10 ways to get more clients. There's the lead generation planner. There's the blogging, the magical blogging toolkit or something else. And like, I've got a range of different things that I'll give away for free in exchange for people's information, so that I've got another way of being able to get in touch with them outside of relying on one platform. Not only do we run the risk of our pages being shut or the groups being closed, if the worst thing happened, touch wood, and Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn went under tomorrow and was no longer in existence, what would you do? What would you actually do? How would you who would you market yourself to? Who would you continue building relationships with if you don't have any way of being able to get in touch with those people? And it's all well and good to say, I'll just jump platforms, but you have to start right from scratch again. So you want to build that insurance policy. Now, the other thing that we've got to be really aware of is that if we do have people giving you their information, we've got to make sure that we're treating them with absolute respect and that we're adding value through that emailing process as well. It's not just always about selling your services. It's also about making sure, which is, valuable, but it's also about making sure that you're adding other value through your emails. So one of the things that I do is I'll give you guys the free thing. So like with the content map, for instance, you guys get the content map. You'll get a series of emails from me over the course of the first, say, 7 days. And then you keep getting my normal emails that I send out as well. So they are usually a combination of me talking about the thing that I'm promoting at the time. So that would be Visible Live that's coming up in a couple of weeks in Vegas or in August on the Gold Coast. If you haven't registered for either of those yet and you know that you really need to ramp up your digital content and your personal brand and do it in a way that's really great for you, then make sure you get all over it. It's going to be epic. And the results that we've had from people who have been in the room before in similar events are just extraordinary. So if you're curious about that, like, jump on it. There's some really great payment plans and stuff like that available at the moment. So that might be helpful for you. So we've got that. But the other thing that I make sure I do is, like, I'll share through the email process, I'll share the recordings of this, the links to get the recordings of this. I'll share the links to the podcast. I share links to how you can grab the book, all these different ways of being able to add value, build connection, so that you guys can see that, I know that some of you aren't ready to buy from me yet. And that's totally fine. I'm not asking you to buy before you're ready. I want you to really feel really comfortable. I want you to feel like, yep, this chick knows what she's talking about. She's a total badass, naturally. And that you think that we would get along well in a room together, whether it's in a larger event or a smaller event or a virtual room or whatever. And really, like, it's got to be that, hell yes, I am ready. Or it's a, no, I'm not. Or, maybe. And if it's a maybe or if it's a no, then, that's fine. So my job, the way I see my job, is to keep saying, hey, here's some more value. By the way, if you want to do this is what we've got coming up. Hey, here's some more value. Here's some more value. By the way, this is what we've got coming up. So when we do that, we really build consistency of message. We build consistency of relationship building. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I see as one of the major flaws by people in this industry is in the internet marketing industry, is where they will, when they want to sell you something, they'll be in your inbox. Like, I've seen this with Jeff Walker at the moment. And there's another guy, Wilco, who started popping up in my email inbox again of late, and it's just like, go away. I don't only want to hear from people or hear from business owners when they're trying to sell me something, and this is like when they're in launch, right? So for me, I want I want my experience with someone who I might buy from. Yeah, I'm curious to know what you're selling, and I'm intelligent. I know when it's like not the right thing for me just yet, or I might be like, yeah, you know what, I don't think that's the right program for me, or I don't think it's the right time, or like whatever it might be. I trust your judgment. I fully trust your judgment, because if you're like I'm not sure, then it's a no. And that's great. So for my experience, what I like to be a part of is for people to say, hey, here's my thinking around this. Here's another blog to read. Here's another video to watch. Here's something else that I believe to be true. Here's another way of doing this. By the way, do you want to work together? This is another way that we can do this. Here's where you can find out more about me. Here's another blog. Here's another article. Here, like I was just on Koshi's doing this. And then, oh, by the way, like I've got this coming up, you might like to buy it, right? Like I think that's really important. And if you're doing that all of the time, then you are not reliant on one launch a year working. You're not reliant on people who you have ignored for 9 months of a fucking year to engage with you, reconnect with you, feel like they know you, trust you again, and then like over it's actually probably even not a 3-month period, it's more like maybe an 8-week, maybe even a 6-week launch period from what I've seen, and they're like, hey, by the way, I've got this, we're opening up early birds, we're doing this, like, by the way, and then it's just like, so over 6 weeks, you get pummeled with freaking emails from these people, and then for the rest of the year, there's like the freaking crickets. Or the thing that really annoys me, just as another, while we're talking about that, is when they build up a massive affiliate network, and then all of a sudden I'm like, we'll use Jeff Walker as an example. We've got Jeff Walker launching, we've got someone else promoting him, someone else is promoting him, someone else is promoting him, and then all of the emails that we get over a 6-week period from the gurus in the industry are all pimping each other out. And I'm like, Jesus, I don't need freaking 25 emails from all of you, going into this one thing. It shits me to tears. And I don't necessarily, I think, there's a whole, like, I'm a bit opinionated on the whole affiliate thing as well, actually. I think that if someone believes in what you're doing, and if someone really believes in the program that you're offering and the way that you do things, and if they believe in your philosophies and they know that your heart is pure, that kind of thing. And if they're like, yeah, you know what, you're amazing, I would love to promote you. That to me, it seems more authentic and clean versus all of the other, oh, look, Brenda Bouchard's promoting me, Frank Kern's promoting me, Grant Cardone's promoting me, Marie Forleo's promoting me, Danielle Laporte's promoting me, Gabrielle Bernstein's promoting me, Chris Carr's promoting me, going around all of that, because then it kind of feels like this, what's that, like this, I'm thinking like the centipede that's eating its own tail. It just feels really incestuous, and it feels disingenuous, and it feels like, if I know that someone is promoting someone else's program, I'm like, well, they're just doing it because they're getting paid. And I just think that that's a little icky. I get it. It makes sense, but it just, to me, it feels a little icky. So bear that in mind. But at the end of the day, to me, the best thing that you can do when you're growing your business, whether you're scaling it up, whether you're going to the next level, where you're going from $1 million to 3 million to 10 million, the best thing that you can do is make sure that you're not reliant on only one way of being able to capture, connect, and engage, and then promote to your audience. We want to have multiple ways of being able to do that, because otherwise, you're really putting yourself at massive risk at the external of you're running the risk of somebody changing your circumstances at their own whim, right? So we've just got to be really careful. So create your safety net. So the thing that you need to do is have something really cool that you can give away for free in exchange for people's information, and then add value through your email process where you're getting in touch with them and you're emailing them and you're adding value. Let them know what you've got coming up for sale. Let them know how they can do things like blogging or vlogging or live streams and stuff like that. And then you can mirror that across social media as well. But it just gives you that at least like a really good safety net, so that no matter what happens, you've got a way of being able to communicate with your audience. Don't allow yourself to be hogtied or held at the mercy of just one way of being able to communicate. All right, that is me for today. A short, sharp, and shiny, the coffee run. I look forward to hearing how you go with that. If you've got questions, let me know. We do have Q&A Wednesday happening on Wednesdays, so feel free to contact me, nicola@nicolamoras.com.au. You can comment below this video or below the audio if you're listening on SoundCloud. If you're listening on iTunes, email me. Otherwise, you can go reach out to me on my website, which is www.nicolamoras.com.au. If you're the kind of person who is a little bit like, the thought of putting together these free things might be a little bit daunting, or, how are you going to make it really work for you? This is where Visible Live, Market Yourself Like a Rock Star, is really important. It's going to be where you learn the foundations, we put the plan together, and then we actually do it. So you're not left to your own devices following on from a 3 days of training to try and go and implement it on your own. We'll actually be doing it in the room, all of us together at the same time. So that way you're actually creating this safety net in the room rather than being left to your own devices. So the link is in the comments. I trust that this is helpful for you. Go out there, have an amazing day, go help some people, and the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. My name's Nicola. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.